The night shift doesn't end. I work night security at a logistics warehouse just off the motorway. No windows, no natural light. The building hums constantly, like it's breathing in its sleep. There are supposed to be two of us on shift, me and Colin. Colin has worked nights longer than anyone else. He knows every corridor, every blind spot. He drinks black coffee and never yawns. Every night at exactly 2:15 a.m., the tiredness hits. Not exhaustion, something heavier, like gravity increases around my skull. The first time my eyes closed, it felt like blinking. When I opened them, I was standing in the woods, still in uniform, still holding my torch. The trees were thin and pale, packed too closely together, their bark marked with long parallel grooves, drag marks, deep and repeated. The air smelled damp and old, like soil that hadn't been disturbed in years. My radio crackled. "Control to night shift," Colin's voice said. "Break's over." I blinked. I was back in the warehouse. 10 seconds had passed. The second time it happened, I noticed something new. The woods weren't random. They followed the same layout as the warehouse. The spacing between trees matched the aisles between shelves. Clearings lined up with loading bays. Even the drag marks followed the same routes as our nightly patrols. That night, I saw something hanging from a branch. A reflective vest. Colin's. I asked him about it later. He frowned. "I don't wear one anymore." "What do you mean?" "They don't send me back," he said. I laughed, but he didn't. On my fourth blackout, the woods lasted longer. I could hear movement, something heavy being pulled between the trees, following the same patrol route I walked every night. I tried to run. The radio crackled again. "Don't rush," Colin said. "You'll only get reassigned faster." When I woke, my chair was gone. Now I stand for my entire shift. Tonight, my torch feels heavier, and when my eyes close, I don't think I'll be standing anymore. I think I'll be stationed. The staff room is not where I sleep. I work nights at a care home on the edge of town, the kind surrounded by trees where the silence feels intentional. There are 3 of us on shift, me, Janet, and Louise, who never speaks. During breaks, we nap in the staff room, just 20 minutes. Management encourages it. The first time I fell asleep, I woke with leaves stuck to my cheek. I was lying on the forest floor. Tall trees surrounded me, their branches woven together overhead like a ceiling. The air smelled medicinal, antiseptic, mixed with rot. Somewhere, a call bell rang, soft, distant, underground. I followed it to a clearing. Hospital beds were arranged between the trees, perfect rows, each bed occupied by a sleeping patient from the care home. Janet lay among them. Her eyes opened when she saw me. "Don't wake them," she whispered. "They're resting properly now." I woke screaming in the staff room. Janet stood over me, calm, hand on my shoulder. "You sleepwalk," she said gently. That night, Louise spoke for the first time. "If you wake up out there again," she said, staring at the wall, "don't lie down." "Why?" I asked. "Beds mean you're ready," she said. On my next break, I stayed awake. But when I blinked, I was there again. This time, a bed waited for me. Clean sheets. My name stitched into the corner. I ran. When I woke, Janet's bed at work was empty. Her locker cleared. No one remembered her working there. Louise met my eyes. "She rested," she said. "Tonight, I'm exhausted. The staff room feels soft, inviting." I dream through my desk. I process old records in a government building with no windows. Births, deaths, missing persons. The lights never change. My supervisor, Mark, never leaves his chair. When the work piles up, I rest my head on my desk for a moment. That's when the woods started. I woke kneeling in dirt, my hands pressed to tree roots shaped like filing drawers. Paper was nailed to trunks with thorns, documents fluttering slightly, though there was no wind. Personnel files, names crossed out in red. I found mine. "Don't read your own record," a voice said behind me. I woke at my desk. Mark watched me. "You're drifting," he said. "That's dangerous." Each time I slept, the woods grew more organized. Paths formed, files sorted, trees arranged into cubicles. The office and forest were aligning. One morning, I found leaves on my keyboard. My file was stamped, processed. Mark smiled. "You won't need the desk much longer," he said. Last night, I fell asleep standing. When I woke, the woods were inside the building, and my desk was empty. The place I wake up when I sleep too deeply. I learned there are different kinds of sleep. There's the light kind, where you dream and drift, and there's the heavy kind, where something else decides where you go. The first time it happened, I fell asleep on my sofa after work, still in my clothes, TV murmuring to itself. When I opened my eyes, I was standing in a clearing. Night, no stars. Trees forming a perfect ring around me, their trunks pale and smooth, like bone polished by time. I didn't panic at first. I thought it was a dream. Then I noticed I could feel the cold soaking through my socks. Dreams don't usually care about temperature. There was a path leading out of the clearing. I followed it because standing still felt wrong, like the ground beneath me was subtly sloped, encouraging movement. The woods were quiet, but not empty. Every few steps, I sensed pressure behind me, not footsteps. Attention. I whispered, "Hello?" and immediately regretted it. Something in the trees shifted, as if multiple bodies had leaned closer at once. A voice replied, not from one direction, but everywhere. "You're early." I ran. The path curved back into the clearing. In the center stood something new. A door. No walls, no frame. Just a door, standing upright in the dirt, its surface dark and swollen, like it had been exposed to damp for years. Carved into it were shallow handprints, adult-sized, child-sized, some too large to make sense. The voice spoke again, closer now. "You wake easily. That makes you difficult." I slammed my eyes shut. When I opened them, I was back on my sofa. Only an hour had passed. I laughed, shaky, relieved. Then I noticed dirt under my fingernails. The second time happened a week later. I fell asleep in my bed. I woke lying on my back in the clearing. The door was closer. I hadn't walked. This time, I could hear breathing. Not one set. Many. Slow. Deep. Patient. Shapes stood between the trees, too still to notice at first. They looked like people if you didn't stare long enough. When I did stare, Things went wrong. Limbs bent the wrong way, necks stretched slightly too far, faces smoothed over, unfinished. One of them stepped forward. It wore something like a smile. "You don't belong anywhere yet," it said. "That's why you come here." I asked what this place was. The thing tilted its head. "Where the unused parts of people go." I woke up screaming. After that, I tried not to sleep. Coffee, lights on, alarms every 20 minutes. It didn't matter. The third time, I woke standing inches from the door. My palm rested against the wood. It was warm. The handprints carved into it shifted slightly beneath my skin, like something beneath the surface was matching my shape. The breathing stopped. Everything waited. I pulled my hand away. The voice sighed, disappointed. "You'll learn," it said. "Everyone learns." I started noticing changes while awake. Reflections lagged behind me. My apartment felt subtly unfamiliar, like furniture had been moved by someone guessing where things belonged. Sometimes I forgot words mid-sentence. Sometimes I forgot what I'd been reaching for. When I slept lightly, nothing happened. But if I slept deeply, if I let go, I went back. Each time, the door grew larger. Each time, the figures grew clearer, more complete, more like me. Last night, I stayed awake for 36 hours. My body gave out. I woke with my forehead pressed against the door. It was open. Inside wasn't darkness. It was a room. My room. Every detail perfect, except the bed was occupied. Something lay there, breathing slowly, wearing my face with the practiced ease of someone trying on clothes. It opened its eyes. "You don't wake up easily anymore," it said gently. "That makes you suitable." I felt hands at my back, not pushing, guiding. I'm awake now. At least, I think I am. But my apartment feels finished in a way it never did before. Settled, complete. My reflection smiles without delay. And when I lie down, the sleep comes quickly. Too quickly. I think I'm running out of places to wake up. Because something else is already very comfortable being me. And it sleeps deeply.